D-I. I'm a journalist. I write for The Guardian.
Oh, The Guardian?
Yeah. Big paper, London, ninth largest English language publication in the world, The Guardian. Because I'm a legitimate journalist. Who are you?
I'm Saddam.
Saddam who?
Saddam from Channel 5.
Like local?
No, Channel 5 on YouTube.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What's your fucking problem?
I don't have a problem.
I think you do. I am staring at a man who claims to be a journalist and will not identify themselves. You're a fuck up. Legitimate journalists will take issue.
He's in a
with
mask.
this. And once I'm done with all of this shit, George Cheaty, I'm a journalist for The Guardian. I'm going to find out what the hell this bullshit.
I mean, listen, this guy could be thinking all kinds of stuff. This guy could be thinking all kinds of stuff right here. Look at this guy in the mask. You don't know what he's gonna do. You have no idea.
Will take issue with this.
You have no idea.
Once I'm done with all of this shit, George Cheaty, I'm a journalist.
Look at the way his glasses.
Guardian. I'm going to find out what the hell this bullshit is about.
All right, figure it out.
I will.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. Your people are fucked up. The folks who are listening to this asshole are fucked up. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're giving this guy clicks.
We're here at the DNC. I got verbally assaulted by The Guardian. They told me to get a press pass. I got a press pass.
Channel 5 is in the building in Chicago. Yes. Right on. I wish there wasn't a genocide. I wish there wasn't 500,000 to 1 million people dead. I wish It's Not Real was not a colonizer state. I wish 75 years of oppression didn't happen. As an Ashkenazi Jew, I know my family's past, and I wish that none of this shit was going on because we wouldn't be here right now. The only thing that I'm happy about is that you're here.
How has it been for you, I guess, as a Jew, to stand alongside the Palestinian movement?
Look at his. Oh, you can't see it really. But look at his sunglasses, man. What's this? Why is his sunglasses like that?
It took about 3 days for me to figure out that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about for the last 47 years.
Why do you... Ooh.
Some of the images, like this attack on a kibbutz called Be'eri, have already been widely seen.
And now I fully see where the white supremacy pyramid is, and it's Israel. You can't oppress people for that long and then expect them just to be happy about it. Somebody had to do something. Netanyahu knew it was happening. They knew for a year. Our CIA told them at least 4 days before. Egypt told them 4 days before. They knew. So they wanted this to happen so they could take back all the land.
It's all their ambitions to get the land, to get Gaza. It's a prime real estate.
And also Netanyahu's running from 3 federal indictments, and now he's just running to save his life.
Last week we had a massacre at a school where 150 was...
Is that right? Is he right about that? I don't know. Netanyahu, he seems... That name. That seems like trouble. I don't know.
Killed, dismembered, beheaded.
The floors covered with bodies, blood and limbs. Rescue officials say they found around 100 bodies.
Israel, for its part, accuses Hamas of hiding behind the civilian population.
Israel has accused Hamas of using civilians as human shields in Gaza.
And at the same day, we sent a $3.5 billion of weapons, 2,500 pounds of dumb bombs.
The US just the other day announcing that it was going to be releasing $3.5 billion worth of long-term military funding.
I'm not down with oppression. I've been fighting fascists all my life, and honestly, Israel's gone so far in the paint, they don't deserve to be a state anymore. One state, Palestine, where it was for 3,000 years, and everybody coexisted, including my cousins and my ancestors.
Arms embargo now, ceasefire now, and U.S. aid to Israel now.
Where are you from? Are you from Chicago?
I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
How do you feel about walls?
Oh, I have a lot to say about walls.
If Trump gets a chance to return, he's going to pick up exactly where he left off 4 years ago.
So Governor Walz is the biggest friend of genocide. He's the best friend of genocide. And he invests over $157 million of Minnesota state pension funds in Israeli companies. And now that's just Israeli companies. That's not also weapons manufacturers that are complicit in Israeli occupation.
The Safe Board Investment, which Tim Walz currently chairs and has chaired for a while, has like $4.3 billion invested in corporations that are complicit in Israeli apartheid. There's 119 directly in Israeli corporations and Israeli bonds, and like 560 that go into Raytheon, Lockheed Martin.
Everyone can say numbers. 5, 9, 7, 7, 7, 8, 12. Everyone could say numbers. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know if anyone else does, but if you're not like clued in or already knowing what this is, they explain it very bad. Like you don't really know what they're saying.
And all those other weapons manufacturers.
So that's coming out of Minnesota taxpayer dollars, right? Like I live in Minnesota, and if I ever decide to be a public employee, that's going to be my pension funds. I'm actually part of a delegation of Palestinian Minnesotans that just had their meeting with Governor Walz canceled on the spot, as in 2 minutes before it was supposed to happen, after 10 months of him refusing to meet with us. And he met right away with the synagogues. He went out to a Stand with Israel rally right after October 7th. So he has capacity.
Well, that's because Hezbollah fighters paraglided in, also had motorized paragliders. So say what you want about that. I think it's cool, but I don't agree with what they did, right? So, you know, there's a lot, right? I think he should go out like and be like, hey, you know, don't we support Israel? Don't we like, are they like in NATO? Do we have like something going on with that? Like what, you know, what was happening before this, right? So
To check in on his constituents. It's just a matter of which constituents.
Democrats are portraying this week's Democratic National Convention as a changing of the political guard. President Joe Biden is expected to give a keynote speech with a symbolic handoff of his party leadership. And on the eve of the convention, though, thousands of protesters took to the streets in downtown Chicago. The protest was organized by an organization that fights for abortion access and LGBTQ rights.
Everybody here but the Guardian. I'll tell you what.
What's up, guys? It's been a long night. I'm happy to announce this video is sponsored by a dope company called Hearing Different Perspectives. For instance, they have a page set up right now dedicating to breaking down news coverage from the Democratic National Convention. It gives you an idea of how different the right-wing one on it. And it basically compares the 1968 Democratic National Convention Vietnam protests to the current March on DNC from www.ground.news. All right, back to the streets.
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
She wants to make it look like she's going to be different than Biden or different than Trump on the Palestinian issue, but I don't think she will. I think she's afraid of the Israel lobby.
And she has a history of supporting the U.S. special relationship with Israel and saying that Israel has a right to defend itself as it conducts its illegitimate operation in which it is an occupying entity bombing their occupied population and killing over 15,000 children.
The Fourth Geneva Convention, Article 49, clearly states the occupying power shall not deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into the.
How much, and I know this is a terrible thing to make a point on, but how much of that is due to the bombs that landed and maybe took out power, took out hospitals, took out medical and stuff like that, and the medical's overwhelmed there for sure. So could that have had some type of something to do with the babies dying?
The territory it occupies, and the external occupation of Gaza was illegal under international law. They were under a blockade. Israel controlled all entry and exit of people and materials. 94 to 97% of the water was undrinkable. They practiced calorie restriction into Gaza. A high percentage of the children were anemic. There was a high percentage of unemployment in Gaza prior to October 7th, about 40-some-odd%, and that was related to the blockade. Also, children internal different than
occupied population
states the occupying power shall not deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into the territory it occupies. And the external occupation of Gaza was illegal under international law. They were under a blockade. Israel controlled all entry and exit of people and materials. 94 to 97% of the water was undrinkable. They practiced calorie restriction into Gaza. A high percentage of the children were anemic. There was a high percentage of unemployment in Gaza prior to October 7th, about 40-some-odd%, and that was related to the blockade. also journalists like yourselves in Gaza are being targeted.
140 Palestinian journalists have been killed since October the 7th and dozens wounded.
More journalists have been killed in Gaza than in World War II. In the Gaza war, where there's only 2.3 million people, as well as medical professionals are being incarcerated in the Israeli torture camps. And what is happening is collective punishment against the civilians of Gaza, and we won't stop until there's an end to the occupation.
If we don't get a ceasefire and an arms embargo overall, I don't think they're going to win the election. I think we get Trump again, and in a Trump presidency, the left actually fights. Democrats will do the same thing. They'll just fundraise, but at least the left will fight fascism. Because right now we have fascism in the United States. You don't see any homeless people around here. Why? Because they're probably locked up. It's illegal to be homeless in the United States right now. Fascism is happening now. So you can't threaten us with Trump or any hypothetical fascism when it's already happening now.
So I'm here to tell the Democratic Party and the Democratic candidates that their voters will no longer support unconditional aiding and abetting of genocide. It's no longer appropriate to say that you're just better than the other guy and that you're going to secure the progressive vote just because.
Kamala Harris, we're under no illusion that the Democrats or the Republicans could ever really do anything to help us. Even if, let's say, there was some nice person in there that wanted to, materially, they have different interests from us because they have backers from the biggest businesses in the world. We don't pay their bills. They're not going to listen to us. So we don't expect much out of Kamala or the DNC or anybody they put in that seat because regardless, they're going to enact the same policies.
We're constantly hearing vote for the lesser evil, but it's still evil, and I don't feel like supporting that. That's why I'm here.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, yo, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Fuck Nestle, bro.
Fuck Nestle.
Their CEO says that water shouldn't be a human right.
Fuck that.
Look it up. It's on Google and shit.
Crazy.
That's it.
You made that shirt yourself?
Yes, I drew it. I just bought fabric markers at like Meijer and shit. Yeah. Easy.
Who do you feel most connected to?
Right now, I feel most connected to Sudan and Congo, who are also going through genocides of their own that are extremely, extremely connected to Israel. It's Israeli companies that are putting them through this genocide. So I feel very much like we can't continue with our struggle without mentioning the people of Congo and Sudan, but also...
The whole Epstein thing was about blackmail. They would get you having sex with the kid, then we own you, we operate you, we'll pay you well, but you do what we say, and if you turn on us, we'll kill you. You know, so, we're just trying to really ease the temperature back a little bit. This aggression will not stand, man.
What aggression?
In Israel, there's a lot of aggression there.
It's a moral imperative to be here today because you can't stand by and watch the body count rack up daily without coming out and saying something.
From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
We feel betrayed by the democratic machine. A lot of the Muslim Palestinian community voted Democrat, and the Democrats are failing us. And Free Palestine! My family is still there, and they're afraid for their kids, even in the West Bank. Their kids are being attacked wherever they go. I mean, you can be attacked and you can be killed just any minute. That's in the West Bank where there is no Hamas.
The West Bank is completely sealed off by apartheid walls, checkpoints. Even without the checkpoints and walls, Israeli settlers would hide in the roads and put rocks in the road to prevent Palestinians from crossing. When the Palestinians would stop, they'd come and beat them. They'd set things on fire, houses, businesses on fire, with the protection of that idea.
This guy an undercover cop?
It's just terrible over there.
We can't really enjoy our families here because you feel guilty to really live normal. And
fuck Kamala Harris. She's a genocidal piece of shit cop that doesn't deserve to be here.
She's like really weird, so it's like she's not funny, but like she's unintentionally funny to laugh at, you feel me?
They don't care about black and brown people. As long as they get their funding, their money, and the interest groups continues to fund them, they're gonna decide and do whatever that interest group tells them to.
Can I ask you what your patches mean?
Sure, this is Hamas, this is Hezbollah, These are resistance, legitimate resistance movements that are fighting for Palestinian rights, that are fighting for justice.
And all the women across the globe who are affected by U.S. and Western imperialism. You know, Gaza, for example, women in Gaza don't have reproductive justice because they don't even have basic health care. They don't have basic human rights, right? You know, there's bombs dropping on them every single day. So if in the United States we want to demand reproductive justice here, we need to also be demanding reproductive justice for the women in Gaza.
Workers of the world unite. We have nothing to lose but our chains. A world to win. Join
the
the Revolutionary Communist International wherever you are. And watch Channel 5. Think about everything terrible in this world. It always goes back to money. A communist America, you're going to see basically the eradication of things like homelessness, poverty.
Fuck you, fuck your mother. In fact, I got $20. I'll go fuck your mother. Okay. Like, maybe she'll give me $10 back.
Yo,
so
that's a guardian, bro. That's a guardian, bro.
Why does it?
You call my mama a hoe there?
Wait, that's wow. People from the Guardian acting like that? That's crazy as fuck.
What the?
Hey, bro, that's my shit. He told me you want to fuck my mom.
And then they upset because you're wearing a mask? Do you see how they act when people come out here and protest for the truth? And then you see they got the gas mask on and shit for what? Like, man, like they ready? Like what the fuck? Ain't nobody did nothing. We just sitting here chanting.
Wait, what are they doing so close?
They're ready. They were getting ready to use chemical weapons on a bunch of fucking citizens who care about what this country's doing. They want to fucking hurt us and put us down instead of listening to us. They know we don't have any other fucking options. It's just fucking Harris or a goddamn crazy fascist. And the moment we stand up for ourselves and try and say some shit about it, they try and fucking gas us. What type of bullshit is that? Fuck that shit. We should have more options in this fucking country than a fucking cop and a fucking fascist.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers, and 5 is the best number.
Yo. Cut. All right.